application to evolving human consciousness. So say more about that.
Say more about the user-friendly quantum physics as it relates to what in particular? I can go in 1,000 different directions with that.
Well, how about to what we're talking about, and really that knowing who we really are and allowing our light to shine and all of that. So celebrating that part of us.
Okay. Well, quantum physics is teaching us that what we think and feel and believe ultimately creates our entire reality, that it truly creates our reality. And that's a very different conversation than the one we were perhaps raised with. And what science is now able to show us is that when we intend to see something, when we intend to experience something, the likelihood of having that experience is tremendously high. And it is showing us that, like, if you take energy, everything in all of creation is energy. And energy is just vibrating at different frequencies, and that is what creates different experiences, different physical objects, different phases of different elements. So the trees outside are a particular energy frequency. The ocean is a different energy frequency. Human beings are a different energy frequency. Animals being yet a different radio station. Our thoughts, our emotions, all of these things are actually different versions of an energetic vibrational bandwidth. And so if we start to compress that energy, if we take all of the energy in all of creation, that's a lot, by the way, and pretty difficult for us to manage individually. And if we take all of that energy and start to compress it down so that we can begin to manage it and do something with it, that we would first experience the vibration of love. The first experience that we would have is the vibration of love. If you took all of the energy in all of creation, everything that exists in the universe, and all universes, and started to compress that energy, the first vibration that would be created is what we call love. And then, once we have compressed to that state, if we continue to compress and continue to compress down further and further and further, we eventually get to physical matter. And if you study physical matter, inside physical matter, we know that it's made up of molecules. And we know that molecules are made up of atoms. And atoms, inside of the atoms, we have since learned that there are subatomic particles that make up the atomic structure. And if we go inside the smallest particle that science has ever discovered, if we go inside that particle, there is, guess what's in there? Guess what's inside the smallest particle that we know that exists? Just take a guess.
Space.
Perfect. Very good guess. Empty space. So there is absolutely nothing inside of all physical matter. So what science has then been able to conclude is that inside all physical structure, at the very basic foundation of it, there is nothing. There's nothing there. The only thing that exists in the physical reality is form, is physical form. We hold things in different forms. We do so through our beliefs. We do so through what we believe to be true. So if I believe something is true, then I've created a belief structure that I then operate in. And I will attract things into that structure that correlate with my belief system, my particular belief system. So if I think that it's a cold, cruel world out there, chances are I'm going to attract the same kind of vibration. We know about the movie, The Secret, and the laws of attraction, and these types of things that we've all been studying recently and been in conversation about. And this is really what those laws are founded on. It has to do with vibrational resonance, and what we emanate, what we radiate off of us is attracted back to us in this reality. So we are, what we put out there, we do attract like vibrations back toward us. For instance, in the 20 years that I've been practicing and working with people, in my patient base, there are probably 80% of the accidents are incurred by 20% of the people. 20% of the patients attract 80% of the accidents that occur. So the same people are constantly in accidents. One this year, another one in 2 years, another one 3 years ago, or they're twisting their ankle hitting their head and doing all kinds of a variety of things. And it's all has to do with a vibrational resonance that we are operating in, if that makes sense.
Right, so the old phrase, accident prone, when people describe themselves that way, and or we might describe someone else that way, so you're talking about it's something that's kind of, well, it's what then we're putting out there, so something inherently there in our energy, and then also what we're putting out there, is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's very interesting because people say, well, how did I attract that accident to me? I wasn't thinking about an accident, but they might be thinking about other things that don't work in their lives. They might be focusing on all the missing elements in their happiness formula. They might be focused on what doesn't work. And accidents happen to occur in the same vibrational field, in the same radio station that type of thinking generates. So it's not that we are, subconsciously thinking, I want to get in an accident today, or I want to be upset today, I want to get in an argument today. It's that